I possessed zero prior knowledge of this endearing, minuscule hero's adventure ahead of downloading the complimentary PlayStation Plus handout. I hadn't previously discovered, nor even heard of it. The lone reason I decided to gift it the opportunity to grace my screen was because my 5-year-old son was particularly fascinated by the artwork. He proceeded to request that I play it, and that he only be able to spectate. Not in that exact language though. I conceived that it might potentially keep him entertained. Meanwhile, I could poach some ever so precious gaming time. Introduction. I was instantaneously struck and reeled in by the adorable and charming graphics. It has a dark but chirpy vibe. Simple, but consisting of exquisite depth. Hollow Knight is by no means a walk in the park kind, but it possesses a sublimely rewarding difficulty curve. You establish yourself with limited skills, a nail that's as honed as a butter knife, and as much idea of what is going on as Inspector Gadget. This lack of ability has you feeling remarkably unremarkable, but the atmosphere and mix of mysterious, sinister characters create a vacuum that feeds on your intrigue, and compels you to delve deeper. Story. You take on the role of a small, nail-wielding knight, who has found Hallownest, a kingdom inhabited by a plethora of bugs, critters and creatures. Several friendly NPCs aid you on your adventure, and reveal the lore of the land, while the majority will endeavor to dismember or vanquish you. You begin in a surface town called Dirtmouth, a town of squalor and dilapidation. It was apparently once a thriving, bug-filled community, but a curse has befallen and things aren't as they once were. It's practically a ghost town, and you charge yourself with the job of clearing the depths below the town of whatever curse is exacerbating the problem. Below Dirtmouth are caverns brimming with some exquisite locales, a variety of flora and fauna, and an abundance of vendors, allies and adversaries. Each foe has you on your toes, studying them and discovering the optimum technique to conquer them. It's so satisfying when you can manage to jump, slash and pound your way through enemies unscathed. Your reactions constantly tested and trained into the art of Hollow Knight combat. Gameplay. If you grew up in the 90s, you will feel at home with the control system initially, and may even experience an air of nostalgia with how your intrepid and plucky character moves around the world. The simplicity of the controls with the immature beginnings of your hero palliates the game for beginners, while offering ideas of greater depth by revealing inaccessible platforms and areas during your preliminary escapades into the depths of Hallownest. The character movement and actions are satisfyingly smooth and responsive. Timing jumps and nail strikes are so gratifying. Being in control of this miniature assassin is nothing short of incredible and grants you with delusions of grandeur. The platforming and combat challenges keep you on your toes, and are as challenging as you will find. Each new technique adds layers to these challenges and keeps it fresh throughout. I shan't lie. There may be times when you want to kick this game where it hurts. Times when you feel like Tim Henman did whenever he visited Wimbledon. But if you persevere, you will reap the rewards, mentally and with spoils. Hallownest offers you many a side quest along the way. From rescuing grubs from glass jars and sending them back to the ever-grateful grub father, to searching out secret areas, and being rewarded with new charms or abilities. There are NPCs that need help, and can result in repopulating Dirtmouth, or even being aided in battle against particular bosses, which can be extremely helpful. So never dismiss any of these. Most things are there for a reason in this game. Hints can be hidden in dialogue, so pay attention. As your adventure unfolds before you, the acquisition of new abilities aids and enhances the enjoyment of Hollow Knight. It opens up new challenges, and with the mastery or experience of each skill, you feel progressively, excessively badass. Graphics. The delightful artwork is endearing. It's full of life and character, and manages to set the various tones in the different areas of Hallownest. From the dismal, eerie depths of Deepnest, to the vibrant, zestful and colourful Greenpath. Each zone, without exception, sets a unique mood and evokes a variety of emotions. Dirtmouth, with its tranquil and calming atmosphere, feels like home. Especially after the stressful, frightful ordeal of venturing through the darkness of an area like Dirtmouth. The characters are a unique mixture, from cute to harrowing. There is an impressive volume of distinctly individual baddies for you to slice up with your nail, or to pulverize with the hugely impressive array of powers that you collect throughout the adventure. Each animated sublimely. I find myself using various abilities, just to be able to bask in the delightful animation. Sound. The music and sound effects are also pretty darn amazing and harmonize with the surroundings, aiding the sinister ambience of the game. The scores during boss battles are fantastic and magnify your adrenaline-pumping state. One of my most adored parts of the game is the striking of an enemy with your nail. A blocked effort will result in a clink of steel, while a clean hit will produce an uber-satisfying sound, similar to something you might hear on Game of Thrones, when limbs are being removed. Overview. Hollow Knight is an amazing little adventure that will give you hours of pleasure, and no doubt a similar amount of hours, consisting of torture, pain and anger. There are many comparisons to Dark Souls, but this is a shining, ingenious game, with merits of its own. It takes the premise, and makes a unique bundle of joy. You have to give it some time initially, and if you have reactions as terrible as mine, you will need ample patience to survive many of the encounters, but I guarantee that this gratifying masterpiece is well worth it. I am not often a person that instigates a second playthrough straight after completing a campaign, but this game forced me into it. It's so gripping and addictive. It's one of those 5 more minutes kind of games. Once the claws are in you, it will be truly difficult to shake it off. For those of you that like a challenge, there are so many optional bosses and areas to visit that you will be spoiled for choice. And the ever-increasing difficulty of these voluntary escapades will have you screaming at the TV for hours. Score. I have been trying to find fault with this game during the writing of this review, but honestly, nothing came to hand. The learning curve is tricky, but attainable. The story is intriguing and enticing, and the subtlety resonates perfectly with the environment and its ambience. Hollow Knight can be a pick-up-and-play game, or you can delve yourself deep into the lore and vibe, to create a memorable experience. It's your choice. Either way though, the game is perfect and I'm glad my 5-year-old son pressured me into playing it. Hollow Knight gets a bad gamer score of 10 out of 10. 2D can still play with the big boys and come out on top. Buy this game and play it. I look forward to Silksong, the next installment from Team Cherry.